I can deal with accents. A lot of the metal music. I mean, first of all, I'm used to like belch metal, basically. Like that's what I call it, just like screaming and guttural, all that. So my ears are kind of used to like picking up like more muffled and garbled stuff. But yeah, as far as like accents go, like there's a lot of bands with really thick accents that I think, and that.
But I would recommend that. That's pretty life-changing.
All right.
So, how much longer is the show going to go? Because I got to be honest, I am fading. I am disgustingly hungry, and I'm running out of steam.
First of all, for the audience that doesn't know, hats off to you for agreeing to do this at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Other guests, like I've had literally guests that have refused to be on my show just because of how offended they were when I suggested recording at like 11 p.m. or something.
I'm on like late anyway, but
weekdays during business hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But see, the problem is we wouldn't be able to because of the whole virus and everything being closed down. The place that I go to record during the day is closed, so I only record at my house, and it's only quiet here between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. So that's really
gotcha.
But okay, I can hurry it up here. There's just a few more things. Let me see.
Sure.
All right, well, let's lighten the mood up a little bit. Do you have any fun or interesting or embarrassing stories from your past that, we wouldn't already know about?
The problem is I've told so many of them on my own podcast.
I've listened to every episode, by the way, start to finish.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah. Let's see. Interesting stories from my past. I once, This is hard. On the spot, it's kind of hard.
This whole podcast is on the spot. That's the whole deal with it. I purposely make sure that the guests have no idea what they're getting into. Mainly just for the beginning part, because if they know that I start every episode with that question, I'll like prepare like some kind of clever answer for it.
I'll give you a story that happened to me like a week and a half ago. I stopped at a gas station and I put the thing in to fill up the tank, and then I walked inside to get myself a nice iced tea. And then I walked back outside, and there was this dude leaning against my car. And it wasn't like relaxing leaning. His like arms were on the hood, and he was leaning against it. And he had a six-pack of beer on the floor next to him. And I just went, "Sir, hello?" And he looked at me and I said, "Can I help you? That's my car." And he just picked up his beer and he looked at me and he went, and then just walked away.
Well, that's actually close. The next question, because that was kind of a two-part, the next question I was going to ask is, what is the most bizarre or interesting person that you've met or interaction that you've had with someone? That's another question that I had.
That's definitely up there.
Man, I'm sure you've lived like a really interesting life where you've met some.
Oh, you're giving me way too much credit.
You just strike me as the kind of person that like goes to a bunch of weird places and events. And
I 100% do. I 100% do, and I have met weirdos, but the problem is that it's like, to think of it in a small time frame, I'm just like,
One of them.
I still think the weirdest I've ever met was the woman I went on the date with, where she kept trying to jump and touch the top of my head because she thought I was so tall. That's probably the weirdest person I've ever met.
I don't know. I mean, I know people like that because I'm pretty tall myself too. I mean, I'm seated right now, but I'm like a dinosaur basically. So
but she, like, I was talking to her mom about how depressed she was, and she's trying to jump up and hit my noggin. It was.
I mean, I'm 6'2". I mean, some girl in a Walmart actually called me short one time out of nowhere.
Oh.
She actually said verbatim, "You're wait, what was it? It was like, I like how short you are. It's cute." I think that's what it was. And it's like, sure, I'm 6'2". What are you talking about? I'm the tallest person in the store. You know.
Right.
That's really weird. But
that's the best I got for you right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to just get to the best ones here. We can skip that one, that one, that one. We can skip that out. Oh yeah. If you could, and I'm not sure if you already talked about this on the official podcast or whatever. If you did, I don't remember. But if you could hang out with any celebrity for the day, who would it be?
Devin Townsend, honestly.
Oh man.
Dead serious, man. He is one of the very few artists that I actually respect.
Wow.
Well, respect is a strong word. He's one of the few that I idolize. One of the very, very few that I just...
It's a much stronger word than respect.
But it's more accurate. He's one of the very few where I just kind of am in awe of everything he does and really, really look up to what he does. Whereas there's tons of actors and musicians and whatever where I'm just like, yeah, I like their stuff. That's about it. But with him, it feels like it speaks to me on some level, and I know it doesn't realistically, but it feels like he's doing something that very, very few people, I could say, tickle my brain in that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's incredible. I think like him existing just makes the world so much better.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Really doing. I think music, like just in general, like I find like just like spirituality and like everything, and like I think it's like just what it does for like the soul and the brain and everything. Like I think it's being a musician is just as respectable of a career as being like a doctor or like a police officer or anything like that. Like I don't think it because like every time like when I was majoring in music in college, it was like I would always get asked, what's your major, and most of the responses are like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be a firefighter, whatever. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be a musician. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think any career, as long as you put passion in it, can be respected. Like, you can be the world's greatest garbage man, but if you love it and you're good at it, then yeah.
True. I mean, if you get on the news, like, for being a garbage man, like, you gotta really, you gotta own it,
Right. All right, I think I got it in me for one last question.
Well, I had two shorter ones and like one normal length one, if that was all right, but I don't know.
How about one of each? How about that?
One of each, okay.
Yeah.
So I pick between these two short ones. Let's do this one. But the other one's really whatever. What kind of weather do you like? Do you prefer hot or cold?
Cold, 100%. It's one reason why I'm not fond of Florida overall. I love when it's cold, man, but we only get it for like a month and a half here.
Not even. It's like it can get cold. 3 months of the year is when it has the potential to get cold, and when it does, it's for like 2 nights, maybe like 5 times.
Yeah,
a year.
Pretty much.
And by cold, for those of you who live in like Alaska or something, like somewhere where it actually gets cold, by cold we mean like maybe like 48 degrees if you're lucky. Like not actually like.
Not even.
It never below freezing ever.
No, never.
But yeah, because the thing is with me is like if it's hot or if it's cold, it's so easy to warm up. I can just put on an extra layer and then I'm fine. But if it's hot, there's nothing you can do about it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, all right. I guess that's all with that one. Okay, so I guess the last thing here. Have you had any interesting dreams, perhaps?
Dude, I have dreams of interest like every night, man. I have super vivid and long dreams, like ones where I'm in high school and I can't find my locker, and then when I finally find it, it turns out that it's on the other side of the entire building somehow, and then it's like, all right, I'll just walk to it, and then my school has now gotten to the size of like a complete industrial skyscraper, and then I don't know where it is, and it's a labyrinth, and it just gets deeper and darker. And then I have other ones where I'm trying to skateboard, but I'm really bad at it, so I keep trying to jump on, but every time I touch it, it like doesn't go anywhere, and then I watch the other kid, like...
You have a history with
huh?
You have a history with skateboarding?
No, the only history with skateboarding I have is loving the Tony Hawk games, but I've never personally done it.
Yeah.
The best dream I've ever had, though, and it was fairly recently, it's the best one I've ever had. I was in a house, and it was like this idyllic mansion that you would see in like a I don't know, a tour of a luxurious homes thing, and everything was bright white and well lit, and it was great. And I was hanging around in there, And all of a sudden, I just almost immediately, I went, oh my God, I'm dreaming. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And I jumped out the window and started to try to fly, but I could only like glide, like swoop, like gliding. And I was like, come on, motherfucker, do it. And that went on for a very long time. And I started web swinging like Spider-Man. And I distinctly remember the dream ended as I was flying to another house, and I heard the Super Smash Brothers Melee menu music. And I went, I want to play Smash, and then I woke up.
So you'd rather be, playing Smash
Yes.
Brothers than
I'd rather be awake and playing Smash Brothers Melee than having a dream where anything can happen. Correct.
Because, if anything could happen, you'd want it to be playing Smash Brothers Melee.
That was what I imagined, and then I made it real. I made my dreams a reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna, my original plan was to get into, like, some of the dreams I had and see if there was anything similar, but that would probably take, like, 20 minutes, so I don't want to.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I'm running on fumes here. I'm a late worker as well, like, I'm a late boy. I still have some things I gotta wrap up before I go to bed, so I'm...
That's understandable. Yeah. I also had a joke that was inspired by the Board Burgers joke, but obviously in the same spirit, I had, like, a 5-minute, like, preface to it and everything.
Oh, God.
I don't. But it was a very simple joke. If you want me to just cut to the chase,
Tell you what, hit me with the punchline, and I'll try to guess if I would have laughed.
Yeah. So essentially, it was for Taco Bell the fire sauce because they have the different levels: mild, hot, fire.
Right.
So I eventually tried the fire sauce, and it wasn't very spicy. So I said fire sauce, more like liar sauce. Because
I saw it coming. I'm going to be honest with you. I saw it coming. I knew it was coming, and you still dumped that on me. Ooh. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yarg. It is what it is.
It's all right.
But yeah, 3:30 a.m. I'll let you, not do this. But, the next segment would be the table turning, which is... if you had any questions for me, but I'm not sure you really know.
I have a good question. Yeah. I've been thinking about it all interview, and it's been kind of driving me nuts.
All right.
So my question is...
It could be about anything at all.
Yeah, I got it. I know the one I want to do. It's the only question I have, but it's pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, that's as Charlie would say, wholesome.
That's about it.
I'm doing all right, man. I mean,
great.
I was a little nervous, a little excited, for this, because it's kind of intimidating. Because I'll tell you, like, pretty much every other guest we've had on this show has just been like Joe Schmo, just some like random person off the street or at the college.
I heard you mentioned that you had some other big YouTube dude on here. Did you want to reveal the mystery?
I had so if you're familiar with Sleep With Me podcast, it's not sexual at all. It's very different, but it's Drew, I almost dropped his last name there, but Dearest Scooter, who's the host of the podcast. Excellent guy. I just love his creativity. He makes like 8-hour-long podcast episodes that are completely unscripted, and he just like makes up stories and characters on the spot and everything, and it's meant to put you to sleep. So
that's
it's really interesting.
Cool. I like that.
He has about the same amount of subscribers as you, and so I reached out to him expecting him not to answer. This was back in like September, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it," whatever. And so we had him on the.
That's cool. That's really exciting.
Yeah, that's probably about it. Otherwise, just like local people.
Gotcha.
Thanks for being on here. I mean, like I said, it's really a dream come true. Because you're like in like my top 3 YouTubers for sure. I mean, obviously, my dream would be to have Charlie on. Which, by the way, do you have any like tips or tricks on how to maybe get him on here?
That's a different ball game.
Anything I know you two are very different people, and that's what I like.
Yeah, and the thing is that you gotta look at it from a numbers game. Once you kind of pass a certain threshold, in a way, you're untouchable. You know what I mean? You can keep trying, and unfortunately, there's no trick to it. You just got to keep hammering that nail and hope eventually it gets noticed.
Yeah.
I'm not. I hope you're not offended when I say this, but I'm not gonna like pass to him to come on here because that wouldn't be fair to.
I was just saying, like, since you know him personally, if there's like any like keywords I could.
Oh, I see. No, unfortunately, you just got to keep trying and hope eventually he notices it. That's really all there is to it.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like I said, you really, because I see a lot of myself in you in terms of like the energy and like the the hyperactivity and like the just like improvisational stuff on the spot and just the general philosophy, and just the sheer like just positive energy that just always seems to be radiating. Like I really respect that.
Well, thank you.
So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But yeah, thanks for being on the podcast. And I mean, we usually finish with a segment. Again, I don't want it to take too long, but I'm just explaining, breaking down the formula here. There's a segment I do where it's like, well, a great episode needs a great ending. So if you have any kind of special talent or anything for the last thing, do like we have people do like prank calls or like play an instrument or do like some kind of challenge or something. But I don't want to keep.
Let's see. I can. I can perfectly mimic the sound of a can being crushed using only my mouth.
All right.
Perfectly. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I gotta. Okay, here we go.
Oh, you have a can down there. You have a can. Disqualified.
That's the best I got for you at 3:30 in the morning.
To take us out, do you have like how like Welcome to Night Vale has like the proverbs at the end of the episodes? Like, do you have like a quote of the day, sort of?
Sure. Learn from your parents' mistakes. Use birth control.
All right. You heard it right from the source. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on. Have a good night, and hopefully, you'll be on Skype at some other point. I know I'm a primitive caveman who's
You gotta move to Discord, man. That's where the action is.
All right. Well, yeah. Regardless, thanks for being on the show.
All right. Of course. Thanks for having me on. Take it easy.